The Central Bank of Nigeria has set a January 31st, 2025 deadline for participants in the foreign exchange market to submit a compliance report on adherence to the FX code. Dipo Ajayi, head of fixed income and FX at Chapel Hill Denham Securities, joins me for this discussion. Dipo, thank you so much. Pleasure to have you on the show with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you for being back in the studio with us too. So talk to us about this code. We know that, from last year, part of the CBN's efforts to create more transparency, more confidence in the FX market. This was introduced, but talk to us about what the CBN wants participants to do now.
So basically, last year, December 2nd, when the central bank actually introduced the EFM platform, one of the reasons why that was done because of the volatility of the currency and coupled with the fact that the central bank is trying to create a bit of transparency in the market. And that's one of the things that the EFM platform actually brought to book. The market has been able to bring about transparency, has been able to show the market depth. So it simply means that just looking at the market, you can see the data and you can make a great decisions. But despite that, the central bank actually mentioned at the beginning that there are requirements and there are things that is expected of participants in the market. There are reports that you are supposed to do on a daily basis. So it simply means immediately you consummate a transaction, you have a 15-minute timeline to actually report, and there are some reports you send at the end of the trading section. And also, there are also reports that you send monthly. And but what central bank has not done for a long time is to actually enforce this. But now this is about the second month counting. So what central bank is saying is that these are things that you expected to do. And one of the reasons why they are trying to do that is because they are expecting market to show forth some positions, like you want to ensure that executions are properly carried out in the best way they should. You want to ensure the risk management framework is well done, the settlement process is appropriate. Also, you want to also ensure that everything that goes through the market is ethical. You don't want a situation whereby there's round tripping in the markets. So these are some of the things that the central bank want to achieve from this, and that's why they said that the report that you're sending to central bank must be, your board of directors must actually append on it. Right. So that at the end of the day, when the central bank now comes for an external examination and they found that things you submitted is different from what they actually got, of course, there's no way the senior management will be able to absorb
everybody will be indicted. Now, I know that this FX code is modeled after the global FX code, but to what extent does it address the dynamics or peculiarities of Nigeria's FX market?
Well, you see, one thing about FX market is that our market is synonymous to any other market. And what we're just trying to do is, because one thing about market is that you must be able, market must be transparent. Markets, but you must see debt. You must be able to ensure that the market is robust. And that is exactly what the EFM platform brought to the market. But it's good enough for you to actually introduce that. You have to also now reinforce to ensure that there are compliances, so that every wins that you have from introducing the platform, at the end of the day, you won't lose it just because there are no compliances. We have seen a situation whereby we used to have the Reuters system then. Reuters is more like, it's not order-driven like this. And but aside that, you are still expected to make some report to central bank then, those days when we were actually using Reuters. But with the new platform also, the central bank is just trying to, so that it also helps them to have data that they can actually work with. You can't tell me that you have certain amount of dollar to clients, and I'm not seeing the impact in that particular sector. You saw the central bank came out sometime this week to say that they were able to sell about $1.8 billion for importation of food last year. You understand me? So one of the reasons why we are able to say that is because you have a data in that regard. So the same vein, they're also looking to actually garner data, so that will help them to actually make a great decision in their allocations. So
speaking about decisions, the MPC is going to meet next month. Are you hoping for comments around FX, or do you think that the CBN is, to a large extent, is satisfied for now with all the policies, the reforms in the FX market, and the results that we've seen so far? We've seen a Naira stable at 1530, 1540, thereabout, but not so much at the parallel market. Don't know why. Let's start there.
So
why is that gap still there?
I think I expect the central bank to still talk in that regard, because if you look at the spread between what's happening in the official market and the private market, we still have close to 100 naira because currently I think it's about 1,620 thereabouts in the parallel market, and the central bank will ensure that these actually thin out. Of course, before now, it was close to about 150, 170, but we've seen more like moderations. And immediately they announced the reporting line for the FX code, we saw a bit of more appreciation in that market. I know that central bank will have to actually address that as well. But you don't forget that there's something on the table that I feel that the central bank also needs to speed up. That is also around the BDC guys. You've asked the BDC to actually recapitalize that. So we need to know where are we on that regard, because these are more like the guys that are actually servicing the parallel sector, right. You understand? And so the invisible guys, PTA, BTA, medical tourism, school fees, most of them don't actually necessarily get allocation from bank. They go directly to these guys. And so what the central bank is trying to do is that to make them to increase their capacity so that they'll be able to actually function like a financial institution. And now it was mentioned that you need 500 million to actually have 3 licenses, to actually have 3 branches in the States, and you need 2 billion to actually practice across the nation. So we need to know where are we on it, what is the central bank doing on it, and I'm sure immediately this is done and the central bank is be able to actually perfect this, that will help actually cater for what is actually, because you can actually clarity, right. allocate to this guy and monitor, because as you speak you have over 5,000 BDCs. So how do you monitor your allocation to this BDC? But when you have been able to actually reduce them and increase their capacity, so it means that even if you just go to 50, but you know this 50, you can hold it to book if you find out that there's any malpractices going on in that industry. I know the year is still a bit young, but businesses are also looking to plan. When they think around, their thoughts around FX, can I plan this? We've seen the Naira at the official market, 520, 530, oscillating between that band for about at least 2 months now. Does that mean that this is here to stay, at least in a short to medium term? Yeah, I think so. Before now, I have this notion that I expect Naira to actually appreciate this year. And looking that we have gone through that tough time last year. And one of the things that actually affected the currency last year was the sentiments around the economy and sentiments around the currency. But I think it's a bit better for this year, and that's one of the reasons why to my mind, I was expecting that to actually appreciate around 8,300, maybe sometime during the year. But the flip side of it is that when you now see that the budget is actually benchmarked at 1,500, of course. So it simply means that policymaker also just wanted to stabilize around this level. At 1.5. All right, we'll leave it at Dipo. Thank you so much for sharing that perspective. We appreciate your time on the show. Dipo Ajayi, Head of Fixed Income and FX at Chapel Hill Denham Securities.